We're doing Grays and Torreys this morning.
Slept in the van overnight. Did a little camping. It is, I have not turned this on yet.
It's 5:17 right now in the morning. We're lucky since it's summertime. It gets bright at like the sunrise comes up at 5:30 in the morning. So we're cramming some carbs in our face and
we're gonna tackle this beast.
Stay tuned.
We're Callie and Spencer, ski bums, travel junkies, van life, and everything in between. Follow along and subscribe to join us on all of our adventures.
I'd say we're about maybe a half mile in. It's a steady climb. This is a really taken care of trail. It has a bunch of steps already made into it. The sun is starting to come up a little bit. We're not quite in the sun yet, but
6:15 a.m.
it's a beautiful blue sky day, which is kind of crazy because it's been raining the entire week up until now. So hopefully we have a perfect day today.
All right, we're probably a mile in. Here is the terrain that we are working with. Pretty rocky. It's a pretty steady uphill. Nothing too bad. Gets you a nice warm up in. We started at about right at 6 a.m. The trail is, I would say, moderately busy. The lot was 100% full, so get here early or camp the night before. We are kind of doing a little switchbacking, and we are going all the way up this way. 2 different peaks that we're summiting today. So we brought lots of water, we brought lots of snacks, lots of layers. That's it. All right, we're probably, what do you think, 2 miles in, 2.5? Starting to get steeper. As you can see right here, these people are coming up.
Daisy, right here. Right here.
Still got some rocky terrain. No more steps. It's pretty much just, good morning. It's pretty much just an uphill from here. So lots of people kind of cutting off, taking some breaks, drinking water.
Here comes the switchbacks.
Here comes the switchbacks, baby.
On the left side of the screen is Grays Peak, and the arrow is pointing at the switchbacks. This is the most popular route up the mountain. Typically, hikers will head down Grays onto the saddle to traverse over to Torreys. The saddle is partially composed of a small boulder field, but mostly scree. Finally, on the right side of the screen, you can see the Kelso Ridge. This is a class 3 route and is much harder than the saddle. Hey, hey. One done, one to go.
We summited Grays. It took about
Check out this view.
2.5 hours exactly from the trailhead for us.
Beautiful day. There is a little bit of smoke up here from the fires in Colorado, which hopefully are getting put out right now. But way down there, you can see Lake Dillon,
Oh yeah.
Breckenridge, Frisco.
Quick summit update. It is freezing up here. I'm wearing all of my layers. It's probably about 45 degrees up here and very windy.
update. We made it to the
Torreys.
second 14er on this hike, Torreys. Awesome. Very cool view too. A lot of the same, obviously.
Way less
But
windy for some reason.
the hike up on the saddle was definitely some scree. Pretty manageable though. Just taking your time,
We saw
getting
mountain
through
goat.
it. We saw a big mountain goat, which I'm sure you guys have seen already. And yeah, so we're breaking for lunch. And let me show you the most amazing day hiking lunch you can ever have.
All right, Spencer introduced me last summer to the best hiking lunch.
All right, I
Here it
learned
is.
this from all of my time as a camp counselor. You have a lot of time on your hands to experiment with crappy foods that you have lying around. So you take your tortilla, everybody has tortillas, and then you pick whatever cheese you want. Usually a block where you slice it, or these little cubes are good too. You put that down. Here comes the pepperoni. Little pepperoni action. Now, for this sandwich, you want at least 10 pepperonis on there. You've been working hard today. I usually go with 20, but you want it real nice and spread out. You want that real Italian flavor on there. A couple more here. Oh yeah, that's the money shot. All right, the secret ingredients is salsa. You gotta shake it up a little bit. And boom. Drizzle the salsa on there. Wrap it up.
Chipotle style.
The best thing you'll ever taste on the mountain.
10 out of 10. Rolling in.
Weather.
Getting windy.
And we're almost done.
Probably like, what do you think?
We're 20 minutes out.
Yeah. It's fun. We did it.
It was awesome.
Let's see, we're about 12. We're about 6 hours in. We took about an hour break.
Hour break.
So
big time, rolling.
probably took us around 5 hours total if we didn't stop. What I really liked about this 14er the most is that you could continuously see the peaks basically the entire way up. So if you can see here, they're right there, those two peaks. That is what we just climbed. We're obviously on our way down now, but you can see them the entire time, and it is a little bit scary because they seem very, very far away, and then to have to get to the top of them as well. But it's kind of like your goal is always in front of you, which is something that's really cool, that they're visible the whole time. later, 7 hours. What'd you think?
It was awesome. It was the only, obviously the last mile was the worst of it, but it was a really good 14er.
Like coming down is always the hardest because you were ready to be done, your feet are tired, and it feels like the road goes on literally forever. Difficulty level, I would give it a 3 out of 5. I have only done Sherman and Quandary as the other 2 14ers I've ever done. I thought it was very comparable with Quandary, maybe just slightly longer just because I had the 2 peaks. But I would give it a 3. I didn't think it was the hardest thing that I could possibly, I don't think it's the hardest 14er that you could do, but it's definitely challenging. 14ers are always very challenging, so keep that in mind when you are choosing to do it.
I would say mine is maybe a 2 out of 5. This is like a pretty easy 14er as 14ers go. The worst one I've done is Longs, which is both really long mileage and altitude, and it has a lot of technical climbing in it. This has no climbing on one side, and probably the worst thing you're gonna see is some scree. But besides that, it was a lot of fun. Definitely not scary. But yeah.
You can choose to climb if you are a climber on one side of Torreys. We did not climb. We do not know how to climb. But you can go up the route that you are just walking. But yes, lots of scree. Wear shoes that have a lot of grip to them and just go slow on the way down. I think is the biggest recommendation if you're going to do this hike. Any last parting words?
Get out and do some 14ers. They're sick. So when we were looking up the Grays and Torreys trail, a lot of the reviews on Google and on all trails say that the road is really bad and you need a high clearance vehicle to get through it, which I'd say is somewhat true. I would say more of like a medium clearance vehicle would do. The van has a 12-inch clearance and it's doing a fine job. So if you have a camper van, I'd say you can definitely make it up this pretty much no problem. There's a couple of spots that you need to go really slow in, but other than that, the road is pretty much passable for, I would say, any kind of van, like a Ford Transit or a ProMaster or a Mercedes Sprinter. I definitely wouldn't take like a Honda Civic up here or something like that, but something like a Subaru hatchback is fine too. But yeah, just take it slow and you'll make it no problem. There's definitely some big holes and some big rocks, but if you just take it slow, it'll be fine.